Okay, let's picture this common scenario.
Hmm.
Maybe your home is starting to feel, I don't know, like it's shrinking. You've just accumulated too much stuff.
Happens to us all.
Or perhaps your work van is so crammed with tools and materials you can barely find what you need.
Oh, yeah, nightmare.
Or maybe your small business is growing, but your inventory is starting to spill out of your garage or spare room. Sound familiar?
Absolutely. It's a challenge we encounter in so many aspects of life and business, isn't it?
It really is.
That lack of physical space can really limit your flexibility, stifle growth, or just, create daily frustration. You don't always factor in just how much space you need until you're already overflowing.
Exactly. And that got us thinking about potential solutions.
Yeah.
We stumbled upon something particularly interesting, actually, highlighted over on WalesLink.com that seems, well, designed to tackle this very issue.
It did. For this deep dive, we're going to explore lock-stock self-storage. We discovered them through WalesLink.com and found they have a pretty fascinating story and quite a significant presence, especially across North Wales and beyond.
So our mission today is to really unpack what Lockstock offers,
Yeah.
look at who can genuinely benefit, and pull out the key insights about their approach based on what we found via WalesLink.com. Let's jump in.
Okay, so diving into their background, what we learned from WalesLink.com is that Lockstock has really deep roots in the region.
Mhm.
It started way back in 1999, a family-run business right in Denbigh in Denbighshire.
Oh,
Okay.
So it's not some, multinational giant that just appeared overnight. It properly grew from here.
1999. Wow, that's over 2 decades ago. It's cool to hear it started locally like that. They seem like a pretty significant player now, though.
Yeah.
How much have they actually grown since those early days?
Well, the growth is quite remarkable, and it really speaks to the demand they've obviously been meeting, starting from just that single site in Denbigh. Yeah, just one. Now they've expanded to 30 locations.
30.
30. And that footprint covers North Wales comprehensively, but also stretches into the northwest of England and the border counties, too.
30 locations. That's a
Uh-huh.
serious network. It really shows they've clearly tapped into a widespread need across quite a large geographic area.
It absolutely does. And looking at the sheer scale of it all, again, from WalesLink.com, they operate over 4,600 individual storage units.
Wow.
When you add all that up, you're talking about providing nearly 6 million cubic feet of storage space.
6 million cubic feet. Okay, that number really puts it in perspective, doesn't it?
It does.
It just highlights how much they've scaled up to provide these solutions. It feels like a really solid example of, a local Welsh company that saw a need and built something substantial to meet it. That's a nice narrative to uncover.
It certainly is. Their growth story really reflects a strong understanding of the market and the ability to scale effectively.
All right, so from the history and scale, let's get practical. What kind of space are we actually talking about here? When someone needs storage from Lockstock, what does that look like on the ground?
Okay, so the primary offering is container storage. These are, those robust, secure steel containers.
Right, the big metal ones.
Exactly. And they come in standard sizes that are pretty easy to visualize. 10 foot, 20 feet, and 40-foot units.
Okay.
To give you a sense of scale, WalesLink.com mentioned a 10-foot unit, for instance, is typically suitable for storing the contents of, say, a one-bedroom flat.
Ah, okay. Handy reference.
So you've got options depending on how much stuff you actually need to store.
Okay, standard container sizes make sense. But, when you're putting your belongings or maybe business assets into storage security and access they're massive concerns, aren't they?
Huge. Yeah.
You don't want to just dump stuff somewhere and hope for the best or find you can't get to it when you actually need it. How do they address that?
That's a critical point, and something WalesLink.com highlighted they seem to prioritize. A key feature is 247 access.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is huge for flexibility. It means you're not restricted to standard 9 to 5 business hours. You can get to your unit whenever you need, day or night.
That round-the-clock access seems pretty essential, especially maybe for businesses or if you have an urgent personal need, right?
Totally. And what about keeping everything safe once you're actually on site?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, security is multi-layered. The facilities have secure gated entry, so it's not just open to the public driving in.
Right, controlled access.
Exactly. Plus, they use surveillance systems like CCTV across their sites. That combination of controlled access and monitoring is really about providing peace of mind that your stored items are well protected.
Peace of mind is invaluable when you're storing anything important, definitely. Now, you mentioned containers, which usually means driving to their site, yeah.
Hmm.
But I think I came across something pretty unique they offer on WalesLink.com, something about mobile containers.
Ah, yes. That mobile container solution is a real differentiator we noted from WalesLink.com. It kind of flips the script on traditional self-storage.
How so?
Well, instead of you having to transport all your items to their facility, Lockstock can actually deliver a storage container directly to your location.
Wait, hang on. So they bring the big steel box right to your house or your business premises or wherever you need it. That
Exactly.
sounds incredibly convenient.
It is, and they can even relocate it later if needed. This offers a level of flexibility that's, well, hard to find elsewhere. Think about needing secure storage during a home renovation.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Having the container right on your driveway eliminates all that double handling. Or a business needing temporary on-site storage for a specific project or maybe an event.
Mm-hmm.
That ability to deliver the storage to you rather than you always going to it, it just opens up a lot of possibilities.
Wow, that totally changes the logistics for certain situations, doesn't it? That mobile option alone could be a real deal breaker for some users.
Definitely.
And just quickly, I also noted on WalesLink.com, they offer insurance options, which is another practical layer for protecting what you're storing.
Right. Good point. Having those insurance options available just adds another important safety net for customers.
So we've covered what they offer and their story. Let's dive into who this is really built for. Who benefits most from flexible, secure storage like this? WalesLink.com suggested they cater to quite a few different groups.
They do, yeah. And it's interesting how the benefits are tailored depending on your situation. We can look at specific groups. Let's maybe start with a really significant one in the region. Tradespeople.
Okay, tradespeople, right? So builders, plumbers, electricians, landscapers,
Hmm.
people who rely really heavily on their tools, equipment, materials. How does self-storage specifically solve problems for them?
Well, for tradespeople, their livelihood is literally tied up in their tools and materials, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So security is paramount. The solid steel containers, combined with the fully fenced sites, CCTV, and that controlled entry we mentioned offers a level of security that's often much higher than leaving expensive equipment in a van parked overnight, or even in a domestic garage sometimes.
Ah, right. So it takes away that constant worry about tools being stolen from a van. That's a big one.
Precisely. It keeps those expensive assets safe and secure off-site. It significantly reduces the risk of theft, which, can be financially devastating and really impact their ability to work. That peace of mind alone is a massive benefit.
Okay, security is definitely a no-brainer.
Yeah.
What about the practicalities of accessing their stuff when they're working?
Yeah.
Tradespeople often have like really early starts or late finishes.
Exactly. And that's where the 24/7 drive-up access is such a game changer for them, according to WalesLink.com. Yeah, drive up. They can get to their unit at 6 a.m. to pick up materials before a job, or maybe drop off tools at 8 p.m. after they've finished. There are no restrictive opening hours. And the fact that it's drive up means they can pull their van or truck right alongside their unit door.
Oh, I see. So they're not lugging heavy pipes or, I don't know, bags of cement across a big car park.
Exactly. It saves time, effort, and reduces the risk of injury from carrying heavy loads long distances. For a busy tradesperson, saving time basically means saving money.
That makes sense.
Uh,
What about storing materials? Vans can only fit so much, and keeping everything at home can get tricky, can't it?
That's another major benefit highlighted. They can use the storage units for bulk storage of materials, things like plumbing supplies, electrical cables, paint, larger components.
Okay.
This frees up vital space in their vans, making them more organized and efficient for daily jobs. And importantly, WalesLink.com pointed out, it also allows them to buy materials in bulk when prices are better,
Ah, smart.
reducing costs and ensuring they have stock on hand for jobs without delays.
Ah, so it's not just a dumping ground. It's actually a strategic way to manage their materials and potentially save money, too.
Exactly. And for some, it can even function as a really cost-effective alternative to renting traditional commercial workshop space.
Right. Workshops can be pricey.
Yeah, commercial property often comes with long leases, business rates, higher overheads. Self-storage offers flexible, shorter-term agreements. WalesLink.com mentioned no long leases or business rates. That's a big plus.
So they only pay for the space they need when they need it. Much more flexible.
That's the key. It provides scalable flexibility. If a tradesperson lands a large contract needing a lot of materials or extra equipment, they can easily move into a larger unit temporarily.
Hmm.
Once that job is finished, they can just downsize again to match their current needs and importantly, their cash flow. This adaptability is crucial for small businesses and sole traders.
Okay, wow. That's a really comprehensive set of benefits just for the trades. You've got the security for tools, the 24/7 drive-up access, saving time and effort, freeing up van space by storing materials in bulk, potential cost savings through bulk buying, avoiding expensive commercial leases, and the ability to scale their space up or down easily. It makes perfect sense why it would appeal so much to them.
Yeah, it addresses many of their core operational challenges, but as you said, Lockstock caters to other groups too, based on what we saw on WalesLink.com. Let's think about households.
Right, yeah. The classic use cases people often think of first. Moving house.
Absolutely. Moving is often staggered, isn't it? You might need to be out of one place before the next one is actually ready.
Yep, in there.
Storage provides that essential buffer space for furniture and boxes, keeping them safe and secure between properties. But it's not just moving. Renovations are another big one.
Oh yeah, definitely. Clearing out rooms while you're building, painting, or doing structural work, total lifesaver.
Exactly. Or if you're downsizing, maybe. Or even just decluttering to make more space in your current home. Storage offers that temporary or maybe longer-term solution for items you don't have space for right now but don't want to get rid of.
Good point.
It can also be useful for storing seasonal items like garden furniture in winter or Christmas decorations the rest of the year, or even creating space for a new home office or maybe a hobby area.
So it's really about freeing up valuable living space and simplifying those big life transitions. What about businesses then? Beyond just the trades, like other types of businesses.
Well, businesses have really diverse storage needs, don't they? Retailers or e-commerce businesses might need secure space for excess stock, especially during peak seasons like Christmas.
Right, managing inventory.
Exactly. Service businesses might need to archive documents safely off-site or perhaps store equipment that's not in constant use.
Like what? Maybe event equipment or catering gear or even old client files that need keeping.
Precisely those sorts of things. Self-storage offers them real flexibility compared to committing to a fixed-size warehouse. They can easily increase or decrease space as their inventory fluctuates or as their business grows or contracts.
So it's a much lower cost and lower commitment option than traditional commercial storage.
That seems to be the big advantage, especially for startups or SMEs managing their cash flow carefully. It avoids that heavy investment or the long-term ties of a warehouse lease.
Yeah, that makes sense. It allows them to react quickly to business demands, up or down.
Exactly. Adaptability.
And we also saw mentions on WalesLink.com of other uses too, right? Like student storage.
Yes, definitely. Students often need somewhere secure to leave their belongings during university holidays, rather than lugging everything back home and forth.
Makes sense.
And storage for vehicles, like maybe classic cars or trailers, was another use case noted.
So it truly is versatile, isn't it? Serving a really wide range of personal and professional needs for flexible, secure space. Given all that, what really makes Lockstock stand out, based on what we learned via WalesLink.com? What's their edge compared to perhaps other storage options someone might find?
Well, based on what we explored, a few things became pretty clear. We've already highlighted the flexibility, but it's definitely worth emphasizing again, particularly that mobile container service.
Ah, yes, the delivery option.
That ability to bring the storage unit to you is genuinely quite unique in the self-storage market, and it tackles a really significant logistical challenge for many customers.
That convenience factor with the mobile option really does seem like a major selling point. What else gives them an edge, do you think?
There seems to be a strong sense of community embedded in their operation. WalesLink.com mentioned they actively support local sports teams and various community organizations.
Oh, that's nice.
It shows they're not just a business in these areas. They seem invested in the well-being and activities of the communities they serve, which is, good to see from a local company that's grown so much.
Yeah, it adds a layer beyond just the transactional service, doesn't it? Anything else notable?
Interestingly, we also learned from WalesLink.com about some eco-friendly initiatives they're implementing, things like using solar panels and LED lighting at some of their sites.
Really? Solar panels?
Yeah. While perhaps not the first thing you'd think of with steel containers, it demonstrates a kind of forward-thinking approach and a commitment to trying to operate more sustainably where they can.
That's actually a surprising but really positive detail. So genuine flexibility, being rooted in and supporting the community, and even some eco-conscious steps. It paints a picture of a company that's thinking beyond just the basic storage unit itself.
It does seem that way. And their recent activity, also noted on WalesLink.com, shows they're continuing to invest and expand.
Yes. What do we find about their recent growth? Are they still adding new locations?
They are, yeah. They've continued to invest and grow their network, expanding into new areas like Shropshire, adding sites in places like Craven Arms and Ludlow,
Okay.
and also establishing a presence in Winsford as well.
So pushing further into neighboring regions from their North Wales base makes sense if they're growing.
Exactly. And tying back to that unique mobile service we keep mentioning,
Yeah.
they've also made a pretty significant investment in their own dedicated container delivery lorry, specifically equipped with a crane.
Ah, so they have their own specialized truck to handle those mobile deliveries,
Yep.
not just relying on contractors.
Yes. And having their own vehicle for that, as highlighted by WalesLink.com, demonstrates a really serious commitment to that mobile solution. It gives them direct control over the logistics, the timing, the quality of those deliveries, which is pretty essential for such a key differentiator.
Yeah, good point.
It shows they're not just dabbling in it, they're really making it a core part of their service offering.
That makes a lot of sense. It ensures they can reliably offer that mobile flexibility they promote.
It really solidifies that offering.
Yeah. So bringing it all together for you, our listener, we've taken a bit of a deep dive into Lockstock self-storage, digging into the details we uncovered via WalesLink.com.
We've traced their journey from that family business, starting in Denbigh back in 1999, all the way to becoming a significant operation with 30 sites and millions of cubic feet of storage space.
Yeah.
We've looked at the practical solutions they offer, primarily secure 204/7 access container storage, but really highlighting that standout mobile delivery option.
And we've really explored who benefits and how, from making moving house and decluttering easier for households to providing flexible, scalable space for stock and equipment for various businesses. And we spent a good bit of time detailing the specific advantages for tradespeople, didn't we?
We did.
Including that enhanced security for tools, the time-saving drive-up access, efficient material storage possibilities, and seeing it as a flexible alternative to traditional workshops. We also touched on uses like student and vehicle storage, all based on what was highlighted over on WalesLink.com.
And we also saw what helps them stand out, that unique flexibility with the mobile units, their active role in supporting local communities, and even their steps towards being more environmentally conscious. Plus, their clear commitment to continued growth and investment in their services, like that dedicated delivery fleet.
Thinking about all these different uses and the sheer flexibility they offer, it really does challenge how you might traditionally think about storage, doesn't it?
Huh.
This information, found via WalesLink.com, it opens up some really concrete possibilities for solving that common problem of just running out of space, whether it's at home, in your van, or for your growing business.
It certainly provides some practical answers to that very common challenge. And maybe it leaves you with this thought. If flexible, secure space is a resource that can potentially be delivered to you, accessed anytime, and scaled precisely to your needs, well, how could rethinking your space management unlock new opportunities or perhaps solve an ongoing headache in your own life or work? What challenge are you facing right now that could potentially be transformed by having the right kind of space available when and where you need it?